All right. So a couple years ago, I gave a presentation to a bunch of like female entrepreneurs, and it was talking about how women were disrupting the market and how our unique skill sets and how the way we move and problem solve and see things was really a driving force. And there, I was highlighting that. There was a couple examples that I really wanted to point out to people to show how women had been disruptors in their market, but disruptors when they didn't ask to be. So in 1994, in 100 days, 1 million people were murdered in Rwanda. 1 million people in 100 days in Rwanda. Now there's an award-winning film called God Sleeps in Rwanda, if you want to really learn more and watch and see how everything played out. But what happened is that basically all the men were dead, and the only people that were left were women and children. And those women and children created a matriarchal society because that was all that was left. And they became the police officers, the judges, all roles that were traditionally held by men. They took on those roles. And what we found in Rwanda for the 20 years after that is that their GDP tripled that of the United States over that time. So it's an interesting dynamic and case study when we're starting to kind of like zoom out and see what women are truly capable of. Because what we now find ourselves in is in a position where many women do not necessarily like feel empowered, right? Or they don't feel like they have a voice, or they don't feel like they're strong and that they can do things. And I can guarantee you that the women in Rwanda did not feel strong or empowered after 1 million people were slaughtered in 100 days. I can guarantee you that much. But what we found is that they were more powerful than they could ever have imagined. So although the circumstances here are not ideal, they are not ideal, but we're not dead yet. We're not even close to being dead. We're not even close to the level of genocide and the pain and the suffering that many have faced before us. So as we kind of just zoom out at this problem, I don't want to minimize the hurt or the pain that people are feeling, but rather to remind you how fucking powerful you are. It ain't over. It ain't over. And as we have seen, and as I've always said, if you want to figure out the right thing to do, you just follow yourself a black woman. Just follow yourself a black woman. She knows what to do. She ain't scared. She is barely even deterred. All right? And so if we could just kindly stand on some of the shoulders of some of those that have come before us, see how they've done it, see how Lema Gobi, through nonviolent action, led a revolution that ended the civil war in Liberia and won the Nobel Peace Prize in 2011. There are so many examples of women, but not just women, but black women, showing us how it's done. So if you're feeling a little depressed and you're feeling a little discouraged, just take a moment, zoom out, do a little research, watch the film God Sleeps in Rwanda, do what you gotta do, but then pick yourself back up and remember how powerful you are. They have showed us the way. Now, let's take it across the finish line.